Hello, dear friends. I welcome you to this episode on 4 ways to deal with rejection. The pain of rejection is real, right? Sometimes it doesn't seem to go away, no matter how much we try. We try to ignore it or distract our mind, but in moments of loneliness, the pain knocks at the door of our mind and we helplessly open the door again and again. There are some people who get used to living with the pain, though at the cost of sacrificing a part of their happiness. But personally, I feel it is not a very handy solution. It is just one life after all. If I am not adamant about doing justice to my own life, my own self, then who will do it? We were definitely not born to live half-hearted, unhappy lives, and we should also remember that it is no one's responsibility but our own to take charge of our own mental peace and happiness. Feeling the pain of rejection means I have handed over the reign of my happiness to another person beyond myself. If he or she accepts me, then I'm very happy. And if he rejects me, then I'm helplessly sad. So my remote control is in another person's hand. Now, this is the simplest logic that can make your pain vanish in seconds. But our mind rarely feels convinced with single-liners, no matter how true they are. Our mind needs more explanation and logical reasoning to understand simple truths. So now I'll delve deeper into the very causes why we feel the pain of rejection, and then I'll suggest 4 ways to deal with rejection. Let's begin. Number 1, be self-aware. You will make a great mistake if you try to run away from the pain of rejection, suppress it, or distract yourself with entertainment or even alcohol. These are just mere painkillers that push away the pain for a little while. The discomfort remains as it is, waiting to pop up again any moment. There is practically no escape route. Your first job is to accept and acknowledge that you are indeed feeling hurt. Stay present with your pain, your difficult emotions. Be self-aware. When we go through our painful course with our conscious awareness, often the pain itself leaves forever. Only the memory remains. While sitting with your pain, don't mentally jump into blaming or lashing out at the other person who rejected you. Instead, try to create a clear picture of your current emotions in your mind. Get into the observer mode. Ask yourself, what kind of emotions am I feeling because of this rejection? Anger, sadness, guilt, shame, embarrassment, loneliness? When you have figured out these emotions, the next step is to ask, what really caused these emotions? What was my role in the rejection that happened? When you observe and analyze your emotions mindfully with patience, slowly these emotions begin to grow less sticky or stubborn, and as a result, the intensity of your hurt feelings begins to diminish. Now, before I move on to point number 2, I want to point out that there is a fine line between feeling hurt because of the loss of love and the company of the person who is rejecting you, and feeling hurt because your ego is wounded. How can he reject me? How dare she rejects me? Be self-aware and ask yourself, because it is only you who can figure out which particular emotion is dominant in your mind. Is it the loss of the relation or the company that is hurting you? Or you cannot simply bear the fact that someone rejected you. I mean you. The fact is, in most cases, It is the mixture of both. So keeping this in mind, I'll move on to point number 2. Number 2, if you cannot overcome the sense of loss, if the person who rejected you mattered to you so much that you cannot simply do without him or her, but at the same time you know that the rejection is final, then you have no other option but to dive into the storehouse of your inner strength, build your resilience, and learn to live without the company of the person who rejected you. Always remember that nothing is indispensable in life as long as you are blessed with food, shelter, clothing, and good health. It is the sign of a weak person, a weak mind, who is not able to move on. Essentially, none of us are weak, but we feel a sadistic comfort in considering ourselves as weak. Don't resort to a victim mindset, because that is just an act of scratching your raw wound. Be compassionate to yourself. If you don't attend to your own pains, your own inner child, then where will that child go looking for comfort? Use your inner strength, your inner resilience. Develop a standalone spirit, and it gets easier to cope with the rejection. Feel that you are a ship in the sea of life and move on. Number 3, if the rejection wounds your ego. Our ego is wounded by rejection in 2 ways. First, I have such a high opinion of myself that I simply cannot accept the fact that anyone can actually reject me. In the opposite extreme, a rejection can lower my self-esteem to such an extent that I lose the self-confidence to approach another person again. Both the cases are sure signs of imbalanced ego. For the first situation, just remember one thing. No one on this planet was born to satisfy our ego. If our self-worth and self-esteem is totally depending on how much people are satisfying our ego by saying yes to us all the time, then we are in a serious mess. All of us do have the right to say no to each other, and we can take no one for granted. Accept this no with humility, and you will be at peace with yourself. In the second situation, let not a rejection make you question and doubt the strengths and capabilities that you have built and nurtured all by yourself all your life. Someone saying no to you does not necessarily mean you are a good for nothing. At the fundamental level, people go separate ways because their mental frequencies don't match. Their requirements don't match anymore. You are at radio station 93.6 and the other person is at 98.9. In professional field, suppose you are an excellent football player, but you applied for the job of an accountant and you got rejected. So let not a rejection determine your self-worth. Stop swinging like a pendulum from one extreme to the other, when on one end lies your superiority complex and on the other your inferiority complex. Observe closely the 2 extremes of your ego and try to strike a balance. Accept rejection as a part of life and move on. Number 4, practical and useful sources of relief. If your discomfort and pain of rejection bothers you now and then, especially when it has happened recently, don't make the mistake of shutting yourself indoors for a long time at a stretch to ruminate on your depression. If you love your work or you have a hobby you are passionate about, pursue that work and hobby sincerely, because that will soothe your pain. Engaging with a hobby or work removes your focus from the sadness. In fact, carrying on with your daily routine work also has a soothing and healing effect on your mind. The basic idea is you should make sure that your body is on the move and your mind is kept constructively active. Remember, stagnant waters rot and smell. It is alright if one person has rejected you. There must be friends and people in your life who still care about you. Instead of sitting at home, make some time to connect with those to whom your company and friendship matters. Don't isolate yourself from others. Identify the activities and the people who make you feel happy and pleasant inside and engage with them. An important reminder: compassion starts with yourself. You have to be proactive to lighten up your own inner world in whatever ways that suit you. We all have been rejected by one or more persons in our life. You are not alone, dear. So move on, because you deserve to stay light-hearted and happy. I hope you liked this discussion. I'll be soon back with more episodes on mental and emotional well-being very soon. Dear friends, take good care of your body and take very good care of your mind. Have a beautiful day.